In this week's show, we get the latest word on commercial flying jobs. We find out what these two places have in common with aviation, and we ask why these letters matter. But first, just a quick reminder for the latest fullflap.tv news, just give us your email on the website and we'll keep you up to date and also tell you the best websites to watch fullflap.tv on. Also, if you'd like to embed the show on your own website, and we'll promote you for doing that, the links are on the front of the website too. Right. We start off with a bit of a weak story today, but with a very exciting centre, a bit like a caramel cup. A group called Lobo formed this week in the United States. No, that's not the exciting bit. This is the exciting bit. Lobo is a new group of pilots who fly Lancairs. Now, you might still be sitting there thinking, so what? Well, let me impress you with some figures. The Lancair will fly at 270 knots on economy cruise. That's 322 miles per hour with just one Pratt & Whitney turbine-powered prop. It'll drink 23 US gallons or 87 litres per hour at that speed, but you're going to be travelling 2 to 3 times faster than normal, which makes it a lot more reasonable. It'll take you 1,300 nautical miles on a tank of gas, and if that's not fast enough for you, you can actually open up the throttle even more and hit a staggering 330 knots or 380 miles per hour. Now, you might think all this would put the cost into the millions, but you'd be wrong. This, unbelievably, is a kit aircraft, and so will set you back still around $600,000, or what's that, 300,000 British pounds, or 380,000 euros. Now, some backward countries don't like the idea of you buying something this fast and won't allow it, but we hope it's going to spread fast. Oh, and Lobo stands for the Lancair Owners and Builders Organisation. Now, we're big fans of GPS at fullflap.tv. After all, they've allowed a new generation of pilots to enjoy the actual flying instead of just spending the whole day working out complex maths. Garmin will have their latest toy, the GPS Map 695, available at Aeropa Expo at San Jose in California at the end of this week. It'll cost around 3,000 US, 2,000 GB pounds, or 3,800 euros. The 7-inch screen should be able to cope with just about any sunlight and has all the instrument and visual maps, so you can use it all the time in any condition, and it's got a massive database of private strips and helipads too. If you're in the US, the 696 model also comes with real-time weather, something we hope is going to be available to private pilots worldwide in the near future. Now, what do these places have in common? Mongolia and Alaska. Gulfstream announced this week that the G550 recently set off to break some speed records between the two countries. The BizJet flew to Mongolia to hang out with the tribesmen in just 7 hours and 57 minutes, a journey of 3,813 nautical miles, and it had a headwind of 15 knots as well. As they might say in Mongolia, Yamu un teda. The researchers found that on the internet. Hope it's polite. Still, there's got to be a dream trip for a BizJet pilot, and if the figures from one British company are anything to go by, BizJet Jobs could be the way to go right now. Air Partner, which is based in London, say they've actually seen a doubling of BizJet charter sales over the past year, although that doesn't include the last 2 months' figures. Quick roundup of other stories, and if you didn't know, the Airbus A380 has now spent a year in service, flying over 1,600 trips. The aircraft can carry up to 555 people, and British Royal Prince Harry wants to learn to fly, understandably of course. The Prince, who fought on the ground in Afghanistan with British troops, now wants to get airborne. Still to come, we've been talking to the pilot employers and training schools, find out what they've been saying to us about the situation at the moment. But first, last weekend just gone, saw the final round of the Red Bull Air Race in Perth, Australia. So if you don't already know what happened, let me bring you up to speed. Hannes Arch is the new Red Bull Air Race World Champion for 2008. After a high-profile, exciting season, the Austrian only needed to actually complete the qualifying to take the title. He duly did that, beating the Brit Paul Bonhomme to the title. The event was won by the Brit, with Arch coming in third, but it didn't really matter because the champagne had already been sprayed.
Why are people still flying planes designed in the 1960s when it's never been easier to own an up-to-date modern aircraft? The Sport Cruiser gives 115 knots in a gigantic cabin. It'll carry 128 pounds of luggage along with 2 people and full fuel. And being a light sport aircraft, there's less training needed to fly one. But here's the best bit. Anyone can now afford an aircraft like this.
So, are there any pilot jobs? We asked fullflap.tv viewer and DHL 757 pilot Martin Bethel to take us around the Flyer Professional Flight Training Show this weekend.
I first came to the Flyer Professional Flight Training Show 7 years ago Then I want to be pilot, just starting my university career. Now, 7 years later, I'm flying the Boeing 757 for DHL Air out of East Midlands Airport. We're here today to find out what wannabe pilots are facing in today's current climate. Are there jobs out there? What have the schools got to offer? So come and join me and we'll see what we can find out.
I think the real irony of the situation at the moment is that people who are graduating right now are finding it very difficult to find a job. However, for someone who was to begin training today, they would not complete their training until 2010, and I think most pundits are guessing that by 2010 the airline industry should be on the way up again. The advantage of the integrated course, of course, is that we get to see these young people at close quarters for a 15-month period, and so not only can we gauge their technical skills, but we're also very accurately able to make assessments of their personalities, their ability to work in the crew environment, team working, all of the skills which these days are increasingly more important to an airline.
This actually gives you more flexibility because it means that you can stop and start, you can go away and earn some money, whatever you need to do, because you go back to where you came last. If you're on integrated, you have to go all the way through and come out with a licence. If you stop for any reason, you have to go back to base.
What roughly percentage-wise or actual values differences?
The Jetline course that we offer is in the region of about £43,000. It's not paid up front. It's a 10% deposit which sits in a secure account, comes off the end of the training. So you pay as you go along.
So, you spent many months in the training. What are your options? Where do you go next? Business jet flying, cargo flying, big airlines, or the military? Let's go and find out.
Each day would on average be a 4-sector day, early duty or late duty. Our aeroplanes start flying at about 6:30 in the morning. They go to bed at 10:30 at night. We have no overnight flying. Most guys will work 5-day block of work, and we'll give them 9 days off a month. We will accept all our sponsored courses, and mentor courses are integrated. That's what we put money into, but we'll certainly accept anyone from modular who meets our standards.
So I regularly go to airports I've never been to. I go to countries I've never heard of, and it's great. Such a varied job. Lots of visual approaches. A lot of airports we go to don't have the same sort of ground systems, so instrument landing systems. So it really is proper flying. Generally speaking, we're all given Blackberries when we join, and you then live your life attached to this Blackberry. The night before your duty day, you'll receive a roster for the next day, or a schedule for the next day, and that will be telling you, let's say you're in Zurich tomorrow morning. You're going from Zurich to Milan with passengers. You're then going to ferry from Milan to Rome, empty, and then you're going to take 2 passengers from Rome to Istanbul, night stop.
No day is going to be the same, so I mean that's one thing to say to start with. I'm a helicopter pilot, so I fly the Merlin. The job could involve anything from anti-drugs smuggling, anti-weapons smuggling. That could be anywhere in the world. It could be in the Indian Ocean, in the Atlantic, in the wherever you might find yourself. Or it could be anti-submarine warfare, which is the main role of the aircraft, or indeed humanitarian work. We do a lot of disaster relief work, search and rescue, that type of thing. Well, the first stage is to become an officer in the Royal Navy, because all aircrew are officers first. So you'll spend time at Dartmouth, the Britannia Royal Naval College, and then after that you join a tri-service training, so with the RAF, the Navy and the Army, and all the aircrew train together, and you can then get specialised into fast jet and helicopters.
We spent today talking to a variety of different airlines and flying schools, but what do the visitors think of today's show?
It's finance and timing. It's now a good time. It could be, given interest rates are going down, and you don't have to worry about the labour market if you've got your head in the sand away training, and also financing. And it's been really good because the two of the key seminars have been how do you finance it, and is now a good time. You can't make a decision about your future with such a huge financial outlay. You can't make it easily, so events like this are great.
Economic issues, bigger worldwide issues, aviation-related issues. What does a young pilot need to do? Well, today we've seen some fantastic news that there will be jobs out there. Where and when you start your training, that's your personal choice. However, if you do take on this career, you will find a rewarding career, an enjoyable career, and a great job at the end of it.
Every week we seem to get new countries watching FullFlap.tv, and if it's okay with you, I would just want to say hello to a few of them. If you're watching us in Venice, Italy, in Paris, France, Saudi Arabia, Turkey or Croatia, hello. And also a big hello if you're sitting in the big sofa at Harvard Aviation at Red Hill in the UK. Yes, you, hello! Harvard are one of the first schools to get our show actually put up on a big screen in their reception area. It's completely free if you want to do it too. Just let us know. There's details on the website about how you can get in touch with us. Vicky's going to be back next week, but I'm Richard Midson, and you've been watching FullFlap.tv Connect.